Whenever an earthquake occurs, the earthquake occurs along a fault. A fault is a place in the underlying rock where it's cracked and the two pieces move in different directions. When that happens, you get a break and a snap, and that snap releases waves. We think of those waves as P and S waves. The P wave is the fastest wave. And so from that original snap location, what we call the epicenter is the point at the surface right above where the earthquake occurred. These waves spread out from that epicenter, and they continue to spread through the surface of the earth until they reach a location such as our home. That would be an example of the initial wave. If we consider the blue, the P waves, then this took a certain amount of time from when the earthquake originally happened to the point where it finally reached our home. We call that the P wave travel time. The second wave that's released at the same time is the S wave. The S wave is much slower, so it takes a little bit longer, but it also spreads out, but it comes after the P wave, and so arrives a little bit later. And so then we get the S wave travel time. Now, because of these two waves are very, very specific in their speed, we can take the difference between their travel times and we can figure out exactly how far away this earthquake occurred from the epicenter. We do that using the earthquake P and S wave travel time chart on page 11 in the Earth Science reference tables. Every earthquake is characterized by four properties. Number one is the P wave travel time. The P wave is characterized by this curve right here. The S wave is characterized by this curve here. The travel times can be read on the side. The distance to the earthquake can be figured out using these two waves on the bottom. Every earthquake on this chart is characterized by a single straight line. That line goes straight up and down. So depending on how far away the earthquake was to the location, it's a certain distance, and that distance is drawn as a vertical line. So for example, what we're going to do is we're going to take two examples of looking at an earthquake that has all these characteristics. First, we're going to start with an earthquake that's approximately 1,400 kilometers away. So the first thing I got to do is I got to go down to the bottom and find 1,400 kilometers. Each square at the bottom is worth 200 kilometers. So 1,400 kilometers would be right here. So then what I do is I take a ruler and I draw an imaginary line along that distance. What this does is it creates a relationship between the P wave and the S wave. Now, I can determine the P wave travel time for this particular earthquake by finding where the red line, the red vertical line, intersects with the P line. So the P wave travel time in this case was approximately 3 minutes. The S wave travel time is done the same way, where the vertical line crosses the S wave. In this particular case, it crosses about halfway into the block. So here we can see that the P wave travel time was approximately 3 minutes, and the S wave travel time was approximately 5 minutes and 30 seconds.